What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Railroads Online, where today we are taking these 8 rail cars. We're going to be heading down to the lumber, or the sawmill rather, and filling up with the wooden beams. We're going to head down to the smelter, then we're going to redo some of the track like we discussed in the last episode. And from there, we will head up to the iron ore mine, or the coal mine, and drop the wooden beams off. Then after that, we'll head back down to the smelter, pick up metal rails, and head back up to the coal mine and drop those off. And then after that, we'll head back down here, grab the hoppers, run all the way back up to the coal mine, pick up the coal, take it all the way back, and drop it off where it needs to go, and see just how much money we can get for coal. We know we can get $20 per unit. There's 10 units per hopper. I want to see how much money we make for each actual unit of coal. But I do want to go ahead and get the next phase of development going for our process of making all of our goods and stuff like that, trying to get closer to getting those oil barrels. So I believe it is the ironworks that's going to be needing the coal, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check real quick. Alright, so yes, it is coal and raw iron. So I think once we get the hoppers, when we come back down for the hoppers, we're going to we're going to pick up the hoppers and the other train cars. So that way they are down there for the raw iron. That way I can bring back the coal and the raw iron all together to the ironworks. So that way we can actually go ahead and get the steel pipes and tools starting to be created for us. And then we'll end up having to need to come back down here to get more beams to then hook up to our box car, and I believe it might be the log cars, because the log cars also hold the steel pipes. So luckily everything is going to be flat ground for the most part for the next few stages after we get our coal up here. But yeah, hopefully within this episode, we'll get the steel pipes and tools going. Next episode, we should be able to start getting our crude oil going. That's when we can get our tanker cars involved, and we can then go ahead and start getting crude oil delivered to the oil refinery with, I forget what else we need for the oil refinery, but hopefully within the next 2 or 3 episodes we'll actually start being able to get our oil barrels. But first things first, we need to go ahead and get these wooden beams up here loaded up, and once I get that loaded up, we'll head on up to the smelter, fix the track, and head off to the coal mine. So let me get these loaded up, and I will be right back here in just a short while. It'll be a few minutes for me, but seconds for you. Alright, so we are now down back at the smelter. Have all 8 cars loaded up, ready to go. First things first, I am going to go ahead and get rid of the switch, redo this track here so that way this bend is not in it after the switch. So that way when it comes off the switch, Actually, I might even move it to where the switch just comes straight off of this one. Or not even a switch. Don't need a switch. Just come straight off of this switch here and start heading up into the incline. Then after that, I need to get rid of the groundwork and bridge that used to be the line going up. And then once we get up to the top, we'll have to make a switch after the waterfall. So let me go ahead and redo all of this, and then I'll have to start conquering all the work that I need to take out over there, and then we can start heading on up. So let me try to get this done in a timely manner, and I will see you guys in just a second. Alright, so it's not my best transition off of a switch, but I kind of had this at a really nasty curve here. Guess I should have probably came out a little bit more with it and just kind of rounded it off, but it is what it is. So this section is done. I no longer needed that switch there since we're going to keep it a single rail going up. Now I need to start going ahead and getting rid of the groundwork going up, and then we can place the switch in up top and get the line reconnected up top. So let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll have to end up running all the way back down here again after it's all done. So let me start this journey, and I will see you at the top. Alright, so I got up here and I deleted everything that was up there till almost about in this point up in here somewhere. And then I kind of ran over and scoped out where we could try to come out and connect up with the main line. And so that's what I did. I kind of put it just a template bridge up, just so that way I kind of know what area I want to try to shoot for. Is that going to be the bridge? Most likely not, but we'll see. But I do want to try to put the switch roughly right in here somewhere. It's going to be kind of tricky. I might have to move it back a little bit further. That way I can get a little bit better of a angle out, so that way it's not, well, it might be okay. So let me go ahead and try it from here first. And if that doesn't work, I'll move it back to this flat section here. It's not really flat, but straight section. And then, so let me try it from here first and see what happens. All right, so this is finally done. I pretty much had to bring it all the way back to where the wooden bridge kind of wrapped up and over the river around this hill here. I put a steel bridge in going down. There is one spot that I really wish I could redo, but it's just a matter of us needing to put the switch on a bridge that is also on an incline. So for one, trying to do the bridges to where I can put a little step out to where we won't have to worry about falling off the bridge is easy. To flip the switch, that looks horrible. The transition from the bridge, from one bridge to the other bridge at the switch, looks horrible. And also because of the switch being level, the bridge not in both directions, also looks horrible. But I believe it'll be operational. I did have to move it back to get the gradient on the bridge to where it's not as steep, to where I can still use a 2% slope. But yeah, I did have to move it back, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not exactly proud of how it looks. I am definitely going to need to work on this section. I'm going to leave the track, but I'm probably going to have to redo the bridge. And then I don't know. I'm going to have to do something here because, I mean, you can see how it's humped up right there. And that's due to the switch being level and the bridge and track not being level. I need to try to maybe level this section of the bridge out a little bit more. but that means I'm going to have to go on a steeper incline for part of the bridge. But that's probably going to be the easiest way of doing that, is taking this section of track and bridge out, coming straight out level with the bridge and track, and then slope it up and meet it up at a later point. You can see here I'm missing a chunk here. I just couldn't get the bridge for some odd reason to connect right here. And then this was really janky trying to get this step out. But I mean, all in all, it's in. I'm just gonna have to be very careful of this bump right here. But the switch is thrown in the right direction to head up to the iron ore mine. So I'm gonna head on down to the train. I'm gonna have to probably refuel it and get the water temp back up again and the boiler pressure. But yeah, so once I do that, I will see you guys when we are heading up the hill. So let me head, oh, stomach drop. Let me head on over here and we'll get moving again. All right, so we're getting our boiler pressure back up again. Finally, I thought it was going, but I got to here and it kind of stopped. But it is what it is. We should have enough room to get up to speed, but we don't have to worry about rolling back. But let's get on up to the new section. And we'll head on up to the iron ore mine so that way we can finally make our way back down, back here to the smelter, pick up the iron rails, head back up to the iron ore mine, and then we'll pick up the hoppers and also the log, or not the log cars, but the, what are we gonna need? We're gonna need the cars for the raw iron. And I believe that is, I don't know, I don't think it's this car here. Let's take a look here. What cars are we gonna need for the raw iron? So we're gonna need, okay, so we do need, it's gonna be these cars again, raw iron, and we're only gonna take like 4 of them though. We're not gonna take them all because we're gonna have a lot of weight. Well, yeah, we're gonna have a lot of weight from the hoppers being full of the coal. But then again, the coal will be coming down. The only hill we're going to need to worry about is going up this one here with the raw iron. So we might only take like 5 of these cars here, along with the 4 coal hoppers. I don't know. We'll have to see and find out, and we'll go from there. But first things first, we need to get this up the mountain, come back down, get the metal rails, get that back up the mountain, and then we'll go from there. Alright, we're coming up to the switch now. I'm going to slow down because I don't trust that bump. I don't want to slow down completely though. I just want to test this bump. Which, yeah, that could cause some issues if we possibly would have went full bore through there. We're gonna definitely have to watch out for that going back down. But that's not too bad. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to fix it though. So, alright. So this is the new section here. And once we get across the river, that's pretty much the old track that you guys already seen in previous episodes and live streams. So I think once we get over there, I'll probably cut it until we get up to the top, unless there's any issues. Yeah, this is the new section here. I hope I got all the trees. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I got all the trees. Yeah, this section through here should be fairly smooth, actually. It's a 3% curve. Then we'll go over the bridge. And once we get across the other side, we're pretty much on the old track again. And that tree's kind of close. Scrape it a little bit. That little couple tree branches ain't gonna hurt. So, Alright, so like I said, I'm going to go ahead and cut to the top unless there are any issues. Then, yeah, you'll be seeing me before we get to the top. Alright, so we actually made it up. No problems whatsoever. I actually had to lift off the regulator for a few spots up towards the top of those turns. But I never had to use a sander. We never slowed down. I mean, unless I manually slowed it down, we didn't slow down. So we had no issues getting up this hill. So that is a good sign. Hopefully we have the same luck with the metal rails. But we made it. So let's get these things unloaded. Alrighty. So we used up about 40% of our fuel. Ooh, maybe I went too far forward. We'll see and find out. Alright, so we have $949. We were $1 short from being able to purchase another boxcar. But we need 30 beams. So we're not going to quite be able to fill this up completely. But let's see, is this going to accept it? Yes, it is. Alright. We are making ourselves some money again. So right there, we're already up. Not quite $100. So let me unload the rest of this train here. Ooh, hold on. Before I go any further forward, because I know we're going to need to do this. Joink. Alright. Now let me unload the rest of this. Alright, so I have the whole train unloaded except for the last two. As you can see, we still have 0 out of 30. It's been taking it all. Because you know what I forgot? I forgot that we already made one trip up with metal rails before. I mean, how did I forget that? But at least that's one trip less that we have to make today. So once I get these two unloaded, I can just head back to the rail depot, get the hoppers, and then come back up and load up the iron ore. And we'll still need these attached because we'll need to get some raw iron from the smelter. And then we'll head to the ironworks. So let's go ahead and unload these two. And we are now up to $1,525. So, alright, let me make it back down to... I might as well pick up... You know what I could do? I'm going to pick up the raw iron, since we have the cars here. Pick up the raw iron, go to the rail depot, drop these cars off, get the hoppers, come back, get the iron ore, go back to the rail depot, and then hook the two trains up together and roll out. So that way I'm not carrying all the weight up. As much weight, I should say. So let me go ahead and do that, and I will see you guys back down at the smelter, which is going to be about 15 minutes for me. So enjoy the cutscene. Alright, so we are now all loaded up on raw iron. And that is all she wrote for this. So hopefully, I don't think it's going to produce any more because we don't have any more iron ore over there. But it is now time for us to head back to the depot to be able to hook up to the hoppers. I'm going to take these, drop them off, and then hook up the hoppers. And then have to come all the way back around, head all the way back up to the coal mine, and pick up a load of coal. So I will see you guys back at the depot. Because yeah, these are some really long trips. I mean, just so far today, just to get all this stuff done, since I started, even though I was like doing some reconstruction of the track and stuff, I've been recording for 2.5 hours. And for those who have watched some of the live streams know that it takes a long time to not only lay down new track, but then also to have to redo previous track and delete the old stuff, put in the new stuff, and then get from point A to point B. It's a long process. But nonetheless, it's still fun. I am not complaining about it one bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get this on down to the depot. That way I can go ahead and drop it off, hook up to the hoppers, and do all this all over again, except for going straight from the depot straight up to the coal mine, and then going back to the depot again to hook all this stuff up, so that way I can do one trip to the ironworks to start the process of steel pipes and tools. Alright, so we made it on up here to the top. We actually did this last night. This is actually the next day for me. Like I said before, I was recording for almost 3 hours, and it was almost 10 o'clock at night. It was actually past 10 o'clock at night. And I was actually on call. I forgot I was on call, and there was a risk of me having to go in at 3 o'clock in the morning, so I decided to stop recording and take my butt to bed, just in case. So I got up here and left it, and I just took the locomotive around and connected it up to the hoppers. So now we can finish out our journey, heading back up to the iron ore mine, grabbing these 4 hoppers full of iron ore, and then come back up here, reconnect up to the iron rails. Actually, no, we need coal. We need coal. Yes, coal. Not iron ore, coal. Need coal, and then these iron, not iron rails, raw iron beams, and then take it to the ironworks. So let me go ahead and start rolling here, and we'll see what happens when we get up top. It shouldn't be too bad. It takes about 15 minutes to get there, so I will see you at the top. Okay, so we are all loaded up and ready to go. Start heading down the mountain. I've already switched, or flipped the switch down there, so we are good to go to head on down and back to the rail depot. So I do want to get this done, because even though I was on call for the last 3 days, I am going in early tomorrow morning at 3 a.m. So it is currently 4:21. I just got off of work an hour and 20 minutes ago. And I'm already doing this for you guys because I still need to finish this up tonight, get this coal and the iron beams to the ironworks, and then I still need to edit it, render the video, and upload it, so that way hopefully by this evening you guys will have it, but I'll already be in bed. So that is the goal. So let's get down the mountain here. It's gonna be another 20 minutes before I get down, so it's gonna be about 4:40 by the time I get down. And after that, it shouldn't be too much longer after that to get to the ironworks. So let's get down the mountain. Okay, so we are now just getting back to the rail yard. It is now 4:48 p.m. So yes, it took just a little over 25 minutes, I do believe, to get back. And that is without slowing down for anything unnecessary, no derailments. So that's just all out, just, yeah. So we are gonna go through here, come up, we're gonna flip this last switch so that way we can head off this direction, but I do want to back up to these rail cars right here so that way I can go ahead and hook up to them. So let me go ahead and slow the train on down here. That way I can flip this switch. There we go. Alright, not this one, but this last one here. Right there. And then once I get past that, then I'll flip this switch here. That way we can go down and hook up to those rail cars. So let me go ahead and do this real quick. Shouldn't take too long. And we'll be on our way. Okay, so I have everything all loaded up. All the brakes are off. And so if we look here, we are at the rail depot. You can see me turning around right there. And we got to go over to the ironworks, which is just in that direction. As you can see me pointing my arrow right to it. And honestly, by looking at the map, I kind of want to see if I can I don't know if I'll be able to take a rail from the coal mine directly over to the refinery and oil works area. It'd be kind of interesting to see if I can do that. Might be something to take a look at. I don't think I'll be able to with how that ridge line looks, but that is for another day to look at. As right now, we have one of the, I think, the longest trains we have ever hauled on this game so far. So let's get rolling here. Go roll the right way, I should say. All right, we are moving forward. And off to the ironworks we go. I'm actually kind of shocked that this thing's pulling this easy at 35%. It's a lot of weight. And it shouldn't take too long to get there, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not that far. It's not a 25-minute journey, I know that. And this track is actually, I made sure that the track here was really good, to be honest with you. I'm really wondering how much money we're going to be making off this train. This should be a pretty good payday for us, I would think. So, let's get around to the ironworks and let's see how much our payday is actually going to be worth. Okay, so we are now at the ironworks, and I kind of stopped here at the switch because I didn't remember what side of the ironworks we needed to go down to unload. But I also forgot that we had a loop there anyway, so it doesn't really matter what side we went down on. But we're not going to be able to start making steel pipes or tools quite yet after we drop this train load off. Because I realized we also need lumber. So, yeah. I might do that off camera eventually. Not today. But as of right now, we're going to drop off what we have and see how much money we have. See if we can purchase another rail car or two. That way we can keep on, getting our production limits up higher and higher. That way we know we're good on getting the resources we need to max out whenever we empty out. So let's go ahead and start slowing down here. See, we do need lumber. We'll need the raw iron beams and also the coal. So let me get that turned down, get the brake up because I don't want to overshoot any of these platforms. Nope, that's lumber. Alright, so I'll go ahead and we'll try to get the coal. Looks like there's two platforms there with a walkway in between the two. Oop, I think I overshot this one. I was looking back here. I wasn't looking right here. So let's try to back up a little bit. Just so that way we know when we unload this car we're good. Because then we're going to have to pull back forward again to get this last car. Alright, so We started off with $949, which was $1 short of buying another boxcar. Right now we're at $15.25. Let's see here. Is this? It is taking. Good. Unload that one and unload this one. And this one might be good. Let's risk it for the biscuit here. Okay. Make sure, because I don't want to waste it all. I wanted to make sure all these were good. And it's not letting me unload it, so we're not good. Alright, so we're up to $19.75, so that was over $200 for 3 cars, which is the same as what it was for the iron ore. Oop, other way. Other way. There we go. Don't want to go too fast here. So I also don't want to risk overshooting the platform for the beams. Let's bring this back up. It's 1975. So 1975 up to 2125. All right, and then the metal rails. So that's $25 per. So $23.50. Making some good money. Let me unload the rest of these and see what we are looking at the end. Okay, so we are up to $25.75. Run down the length of the train here. And get to the last 2 cars. I think we're going to be up to almost $2,000 richer. Yes. We're actually almost $1,800 up from what we were at the beginning of the episode. So, we could possibly buy one more boxcar. And then once we actually eventually go get the lumber, bring the lumber back, we might be able to buy another tanker. So let's see here. We buy one more boxcar, so we have 3. That'll leave us with $17.75. Ooh! Order! And now we have 4 tanker cars as well. So there we have it. We now have 4 tanker cars and 3 box cars. And we're down to $325. But we are starting to get more money in the bank per load, per train run. So that is good. I do know we're out of logs at the sawmill, so I might have to go ahead and take another load of logs down there eventually. And then we'll have to take these rail cars down as well. Load up with lumber, bring it back up here, unload the lumber, and the coal, which I'm not seeing it stockpile up here. You'd think you would see piles of it here, but it's not. Anyhow, we'll have the coal, we'll have the raw iron, and then we'll have the lumber being stacked up probably in here. And then we'll finally be able to start making our tools and steel pipes, which will be on this side to load up. I don't know why there's one sitting here. There's 2 of them sitting here. How am I able to produce stuff when there's no lumber? I don't know, maybe that's base game stuff. I don't know. So, I can see it being able to make the steel pipes because of the raw iron and coal. But I won't be able to make the tools because there's no wood to make the crates. Yeah, 0 out of 100. So there's nothing there. It's not producing anything. 0 out of 100. Alright. So I think that is where I'm going to wrap this one up, guys. Nearly almost 4 hours? 3-4 hours of recording time to do all this, but there was a lot of track work to be done yesterday. And then we had to play catch up for today. So I have some editing to do and rendering, and then try to upload this all within the next 2 hours. That way I can try to get this beginning to upload for you guys to YouTube. So that way you have something to watch tonight as I am sleeping to head into work and wake up around 1:30 a.m. and head to work at 3 a.m. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did and you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Smash that like button. If you didn't like it, you can click the thumbs down. It's okay. It's no big deal. Nobody's going to judge. Nobody's going to know you disliked it anyway. So no big deal. And don't forget to click that bell notification. That way you know whenever I go live or I post something new like this. So I want to thank you for all of you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.